Hello and welcome to Crypto Exposed. Is this the end for HBAR? Should you be selling your HBAR immediately due to the latest exploit? Well, not so fast, right? This isn't good. We're not going to beat around the bush or pretend, okay? We're here to be grounded in reality. It's not good at all. And there's definitely a cause for concern. But I don't think this is necessarily the thing that would say, get the hell out of HBAR as soon as possible. Okay? So let's just quickly go into the thread, just explaining what's actually happened, and then we can discuss it from there. Okay? So this is from the official Hedera Twitter. Today, attackers exploited the smart contract service code of Hedera mainnet to transfer Hedera token services held by victims' accounts to their own account. The attacker targeted accounts used as liquidity pools on multiple dexes that use Uniswap v2 derived contract code ported over to use the Hedera token service, including Pangolin, SaucerSwap Labs, and HeliSwap. When the attackers moved tokens obtained through these attacks over the Hashport network bridge, the bridge operators detected the activity and took swift action to disable it. The Hedera community, including Swirled Labs, I'm not sure if that's right, HBAR Foundation, LimeChain, Pangolin, SaucerSwap Labs, and HeliSwap teams worked together to investigate the attack. To prevent the attacker from being able to steal more tokens, Hedera turned off the mainnet proxies, which remove user access to the mainnet. The team has identified the root cause of the issue and are working on a solution. Once the solution is ready, Hedera counter members will sign transactions to approve the deployment of updated code on mainnet to remove this vulnerability, at which point the mainnet proxies will be turned back on, allowing normal activity to resume. So, clearly, it just shows that their mainnet is hackable. It just shows that it is vulnerable. So, is there a cause for concern? Yeah, absolutely, of course. Will this lead to a loss of trust? Absolutely. I mean, you've got to think that there's people here who have lost money now. Okay? So, there's definitely going to be people who are affected by this, 100%. The thing that I will say is, this doesn't necessarily have to spell the end for Hedera. Yes, it's not the best, and it's not going to install a lot of faith. And I think, the people who have lost money, unless they really, really are strong believers in HBAR, I think it will take them a lot to want to reinvest back to them, unless they can get some kind of money back to what they've invested. But this is the thing, right? Not all of these companies are perfect. Yeah, vulnerabilities happen, exploits happen. This is what hackers are here for. They're here to spend all their time trying to figure out ways to manipulate the system to get money. So they are going to be working tirelessly, trying to be able to find these exploits and these vulnerabilities to get money. Now, obviously, it would be great if this didn't happen, and this would show that how strong HBAR, the Hedera mainnet is. But I don't think this is something that has to spell the end of HBAR at all. It's a bump in the road, basically, right? These kind of things do happen on other companies with blockchain. Yeah, again, we're still in the early days, all right? We're still in the very early days of crypto. And so I think with a lot of these companies, they are still figuring it out. Yeah, they're still working on their blockchains and their mainnets. So it definitely isn't the best that this has happened, but I wouldn't say that this means it has to spell the end for Hedera. First and foremost, the mainnet obviously is going to continue to run as normal. I believe the solution has now been found and it's been restored. Let me just quickly check a bit further up on their Twitter. Just have a quick look. Yeah, the mainnet is now accessible. So clearly they have, acted swiftly to get this fixed. And I think I'd just look at this as a bump in the road. Okay, you've still got to think this doesn't change anything of what HBAR's actually doing. It doesn't change their partnerships. It doesn't change their use case. It doesn't change their utility. Everything is still there. Okay? Everything that you like about HBAR and why you invested in it in the first place, it's still there. It doesn't change anything. It's not going to be a thing where this hack now leads to the partnership saying, hey, I think we're going to have to break our relationship here. We're going to have to cut our ties. You know, this isn't great. No, I think they'll look at it as, okay, you clearly got a bit of work to do. You clearly need to work on your security. But long term, once this is fixed, you've still got a great business model. And it's something that all these companies want to be a part of. So, you know, for anybody out there who's worrying about this, yes, I'm not saying not to be concerned at all. Like, you know, it definitely is a bit of a worry because people have lost money. And I think that's the biggest, obviously, shame in this whole situation. People have lost money. And I think it's safe to say that not everyone will get their money back. I think that's pretty much a given in this scenario. So, yes, I do definitely feel for people who have lost money in this scenario. But I would just say, look, if you still believe in HBAR and you currently hold it, and this isn't financial advice, of course, this is just my opinion, okay? I can't guarantee anything. But in my opinion, I wouldn't necessarily just be rushing to sell. I would still just be looking at the long-term prospects of what hedera are doing. And that's what would keep me grounded in this situation. I think, you know, the fact that they managed to get it resolved as quickly as they did is, of course, a positive. And that vulnerability that was there has now been removed. So that's something that they've now managed to avoid ever happening again. And I'm sure this will make them sit back now and look at their security. Yeah, this will make them sit back and think, okay, what do we need to do to strengthen up the security of our mainnet to avoid these kind of things happening again? So I'm sure security will be a big thing on their mind now, a big priority to them. So I think they'll be working to strengthen that way more to avoid something like this happening again. Because, you know, if this was a consistent thing, then yeah, of course, it's going to be more loss of trust. And I think then people will be thinking, well, it's getting hacked left, right, and center. How do we trust this company anymore to protect our funds when we're investing in them if they can't even protect their blockchain, right? So I think this is something to definitely, you know, take in. It's definitely not something that you're just going to forget anytime soon. But I don't think it's nothing that has to spell the actual end of HBAR. And me personally, I wouldn't sell HBAR on the back of this. I wouldn't. Because, and this is the thing, right? The HBAR's took a bit of a dive in the price due to this. Like, it will recover. Over time, it will recover. It's just like anything. Yeah, you hear the news, you have the shock value, it tanks. And then, that's the panic sellers, right? And then the people who really believe in what they hold, generally, they still kind of hold on. And I'm not saying that this isn't, you know, bad news. It, of course, is bad news. But I think it's not the end for hedera. I really don't think it is. This isn't going to spell them, you know, showing up shop. So the people who hold, this will blow over and hedera will continue. And I think eventually the price will recover, you know. So I think it's best to just bear that in mind and not just sell, especially at a loss because of how much the price has dumped due to this. But again, this is just my opinion. So no, I don't think this is the end of HBAR or hedera. You know, I wouldn't personally be selling. That's just my opinion. But what do you guys think? Have any of you guys been affected by this? Have any of you guys lost money? How do you feel about this? Have you lost faith in HBAR and hedera, or do you still hold strong? Do you still feel optimistic? Let me know. Thank you very much for watching, guys. If you did like this, remember to like, comment, and subscribe. But until next time, take care.